Hello, good morning, children. Welcome back to the online session of Sri Gokulam Public School, Guruvayur. Children, we are here with a new chapter today, chapter 6, Staffing. As you know, we have completed the functions of management like planning and organizing. So, here is the third function of management, that is staffing. Now, let us discuss about this chapter. Here in this chapter, we have to complete the concept like concept and importance of staffing, staffing process, recruitment process, selection process, training and development, concept and importance, methods of training, that is on the job training and off the job training. Today we will discuss about concept and importance of staffing and staffing process. So let us start. Here is the concept of staffing. After planning and selection of the organization structure, the next step in the management process is to fill the various posts provided in the organization. Staffing simply means putting people to jobs or finding the right person for the right job. We can also mention staffing as a functions of management which is concerned with obtaining, utilizing and maintaining a satisfactory and satisfied workforce. Staffing is the managerial function of filling and keeping filled positions in the organization structure. So this is what staffing is all about. It is about filling the vacant position, or we can say it is putting people to job and finding the right person for the right job. Now, what are the importance of staffing? Obtaining competent person, higher performance, continuous survival and growth, optimum utilization of human resources, improves job satisfaction and morale of the employee. So these are the 5 importance of staffing. Let us discuss one by one. Obtaining competent personnel. Here competent means a person who have the ability to do all the work. So proper staffing helps in discovering and obtaining competent personnel for various jobs. So it is only through staffing that we can discover and obtain a person who is well suited for our job, or a person who can do the job in our organization very well. He should be a competent person for various jobs. He should be capable enough to perform various jobs in our organization. So only through staffing process we can discover a person. Then higher performance. Proper staffing ensures higher performance by putting right person on the right job. So through this process of staffing, we can appoint a right person who can do the right job. So a person who can do the right job, he can we can expect a higher performance from him. So thereby increase the profit of the firm also. So a person who is capable of doing almost all the job at the right time, so such a person have to be appointed so that we can ensure higher performance from him and thereby increase the profitability of the firm. The next concept is, or importance is, continuous survival and growth. Proper staffing ensures continuous survival and growth of the enterprise through succession planning for managers. So staffing means what? We are appointing the right person for the right job. So that we have to continuously do, because if there is a place vacant for an employee who is doing a particular job, then that work will not proceed in his absence. So for a survival and growth of the enterprise, we have to appoint a right person and fill the vacant places. Okay, so that is a continuous it is important for the continuous survival and growth of the firm. Next is optimum utilization of human resources. Proper staffing helps to ensure optimum utilization of human resources. By avoiding overstaffing, it prevents underutilization of personnel and high labor cost. At the same time, it avoids disruption of work by indicating in advance the shortage of personnel. So through the process of staffing, we can come to know how much person is required for a particular work. So we will not go for over that is staffing also and understaffing also. Both is not good. If we go for overstaffing, what will happen? We will have to unnecessarily pay the high labor cost on that staff. And if we go for understaffing, what will happen? If there is shortage of person, what will happen? Our work will be disrupted. So both is not good for the organization. There should be an optimum utilization of human resources. Educate staff should be there in an organization. So this is one of the important. The next point, that is the last point of importance of staffing, is improves job satisfaction and morale of employees. Proper staffing improves job satisfaction and morale of employees through objective assessment and fair reward on their contribution. So this process is done in such a way that through proper training and development and career opportunities given to the employee, there will be increase in their job satisfaction and morale of the employees will also increase. Okay, so if we are going for a proper staffing, that will improve the job satisfaction and morale of the employee, and through objective. And how can we do that? Through objective assessment. We have to assess this performance of this employee and reward them for their contribution. By doing so, we will increase the job satisfaction of the employee and thereby increase the performance of them, which will automatically contribute to the profit of the organization. So these are the 5 importance of staffing. The next what we have to cover in this topic is the staffing process. Staffing is a process through which it is ensured that right people are available at the right time doing the right job. So it is through the staffing process that we ensure that we have selected the right person at the right time and they are doing the right job according to their capability and qualification and talents. So staffing process have various steps as shown below. What are the process? Estimating manpower requirements, recruitment, selection, placement and orientation, training and development, performance appraisal, career planning and promotion, and compensation. Let us discuss each of these points in brief. The first one is estimating manpower requirements. The first step in staffing is to estimate manpower requirements to carry out business activity. So to do a particular business activity, how many staff are required or how many employees are required, that is estimated. That is the first step. Okay, so this estimates should be made both function wise as well as level wise. So in doing a particular function, that is marketing function or sales function, how many persons are required, as well as in each level of organization how many staff or manpower are required. So on that basis estimates are drawn. Then the estimates of manpower requirement should be based on the organization strategic plan. This is also considered while estimating the manpower requirements. So this is the first step of planning, that is estimating the manpower requirements. How many persons are required for doing the particular job or task. Next is recruitment. Under this, sources of recruitment are identified and candidates are attracted to offer themselves for employment. So recruitment is a process in which we invite the candidate to offer for the job. There may be internal sources and external sources, which we will study in detail in the coming classes. At the recruitment step, an attempt is made to attract as many as candidate as possible so that more options are available at selection step. So recruitment process is such a crucial process in which if it is not done properly, then we will not get enough selection of candidates. So if it is done in such a way that we attract more and more candidate for the job, then we can make a selection and select one which is best suited for our business or for doing that particular task or job. After recruitment, we have to go for selection. Selection is a process of choosing the most suitable candidate out of several available candidates. So after recruitment, when we get number of applications, we have to select one which is best for our job. Okay, the choice is made in the light of selection criteria laid down for specific position. For specific position, there are certain selection criteria. Based on that, we make the choice of the candidates. After selecting the particular person for the job, the next step is placement and orientation. In this step, the candidate who are selected are placed on their job. So the person or the candidate who is selected, they will be placed on their job. Okay, so for which job they are selected, they will be placed, and their duties and their responsibilities will be introduced to them. Now, what is orientation? These candidates are new to this job. So we will introduce the working place, the people working around there in the business or that organization or company. We will introduce this person to all the staff. So before they start working in the organization, an orientation program is organized by the organization to provide relevant information to the new recruits. So the new recruited person, he will be given relevant information for doing his work properly, and he will be introduced to all the staff as well as to the working place in which he is very new. Okay, the next step is training and development. This involves providing training to employees for developing their relevant skills. So this person who is appointed, who is new to this organization, he will be given enough training required for doing his work. Employee need to develop two types of skill: those which are job specific, those which can be used in present job as well as future jobs. So in both this area, he should acquire the skills. So through training and development only that can be possible. The next one is performance appraisal. Under this, employees' performance is evaluated either informally or through use of structured form which is designed by the Human Resource Development department, that is HR department. They appraisal, they evaluate this particular employee. Okay, result of appraisal of performance is communicated to the employee concerned with suitable suggestions to overcome deficiency if any. So after appraisal of his performance, the employee will be communicated the area where he needs correction. Okay, and certain suggestions will be given to him so that he can overcome his deficiencies. So that is through performance appraisal steps. Next step of staffing is career planning and promotion. Career planning involves charting out career path for employee through which they will move upward in the organization. So if the organization is a big organization, there will be many career opportunities available to this employee. So career planning involves what? Charting out career path for this employee in which he can move upward in the organization. And what is promotion? Promotion involves placing an employee at a higher position as compared to his present position. So based on his performance, he will be given promotion which is actually a higher position with higher responsibility also. So promotion involves placing an employee at a higher position. Next step is compensation, and this is the last step of staffing process. This step of staffing involves deciding suitable compensation for the employee. Compensation refers to money and other benefits received by an employee for providing services to his employer. So for each company there are different compensation packages available. So it actually refers to money or other benefits which is given to the employee by the employer for the service of the employee. So this is the 8 steps of, or we can say 8 process of staffing. So children, now we are about to conclude today's class. In today's class, we have discussed about the concept and importance of staffing. We studied the 8 process or steps of staffing. You have to go through your textbook covering these points and underline the important points related to these topics. Attend the test paper attached along with this session and go through it very carefully before you write the answers. Meet you in the next class with a new topic related to this chapter, that is staffing. Till then, goodbye. Take care.